Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Kevin Costner returns to TV with new Stranger Than Fiction Yellowstone series. Kevin Costner will return to TV screens with a brand new series about the Yellowstone and Yosemite National Parks. The actor, who starred in the long-running Paramount Network series Yellowstone, will host a 3-part limited series called Yellowstone to Yosemite with Kevin Costner. Once in a while, you come across a story that has that truly special mix of elements. It's stranger than fiction and happens against all odds, Kevin said in a press release for the new series, which will air on Fox Nation on February 8. It results in something that legitimately changes the world for the good and, most importantly, it all really happened. Kevin will trace the footsteps of the pivotal 1903 Yosemite expedition of 26th President Teddy Roosevelt and environmental advocate John Muir, spotlighting the highs and lows of preserving the American frontier as he explores the parks and looks at the history that changed America. Throughout the voyage, Costner explores the region's rich indigenous American legacy, the serendipitous arrival of outsiders in 1850, and how John Muir evolved into a crusader for our wildest places, the release read. Through Costner's perspective, he illuminates the struggle waged by Muir as he contended with the intricate politics of resource management, and how Roosevelt's intervention culminated in the establishment of a more structured national park system, the creation of 150 national forests, 5 national parks, and the preservation and protection of 230 million acres of precious land. In 2022, Yellowstone celebrated its 150th year anniversary, spanning 3 states, Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. The national park is made up of over 2.2 million acres, half the world's active geysers, 10,000 hydrothermal features, and 1,000 miles of hiking trails. Yosemite, in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, was established in 1906 after the 1903 Yosemite expedition saw President Roosevelt join Muir for a 3-night camping trip across Mariposa Grove, Sentinel Dome, Glacier Point, and Yosemite Valley. The trip saw Muir convince Roosevelt to expand the protection of Yosemite, and it inspired the president to create 5 further national parks, 150 national forests, and 18 national monuments. Kevin has long held a fascination with the American frontier. He starred in the Paramount series Yellowstone for 5 seasons, and will attend the U.S. premiere of Part 2 of his Horizon saga at Santa Barbara International Film Festival in February. Part 2 of the saga was meant to be released in theaters in August 2024, but it was unexpectedly pulled from theatrical release after Part 1 failed to have significant box office impact or impress critics. Horizon had a budget of $100 million and was filmed in a Utah set that Kevin plans to expand into a massive Costner-themed movie filming compound. He put $38 million of his own money into the first film alone, though it earned only $11 million on opening weekend, and a total of $32 million globally so far. Kevin Costner is back, and this time, he's bringing an even wilder chapter to the ever-expanding Yellowstone universe. After a dramatic exit from Yellowstone, the show that made him the small-screen cowboy king, Costner is saddling up once more for a new, standalone series inspired by true events so bizarre, they almost seem like fiction. A story you couldn't make up, but it's real. Tentatively titled Yellowstone, Strange Trails, the new series isn't a direct sequel or prequel, but an offshoot that leans into the mythology of the American West in a way that blends historical truths with eerie folklore. Costner, who has long been fascinated by the intersection of history and legend, has taken an active role in crafting the narrative. Not only will he star, but he's also an executive producer, ensuring that his signature storytelling style infuses every frame. Unlike the traditional Yellowstone saga, which revolves around the Dutton family and their ranching empire, Strange Trails explores the forgotten corners of frontier history, true stories that were whispered around campfires and scrawled in the margins of old newspapers. Think buried treasure, mysterious disappearances, and lawmen who might not be what they seem. Costner's role, a cowboy or a con man? Costner is set to play John Royce, a former Pinkerton agent turned rancher who finds himself drawn into a tangled web of myth and mystery when he inherits a dying town in Montana's untamed wilderness. Royce, a man of both honor and shadowy past decisions, is confronted with a series of inexplicable events: phantom cattle that vanish without a trace, an entire family that disappears overnight, and an outlaw gang rumored to be led by a man who died a decade ago. As Royce investigates, he begins to unravel a conspiracy that ties land disputes, Native American folklore, and even Civil War gold into a narrative that defies logic. Is he dealing with supernatural forces or simply the elaborate schemes of desperate men? Costner has hinted that his character may not be entirely reliable. John Royce is a man shaped by the legends he chases, he said in a recent interview. And sometimes, when you believe in something hard enough, it starts to become real. A departure from the Dutton dynasty. Fans of Yellowstone might expect sprawling ranch landscapes and brutal family feuds, but Strange Trails leans more into mystery, crime, and even elements of the paranormal. Think Yellowstone meets True Detective, with a touch of the X-Files for good measure. Series creator Taylor Sheridan, who remains an executive producer, describes the show as a story about the blurred line between fact and folklore. There's so much history in the American West that feels like myth, Sheridan said. We're taking those stories, the ones that make you raise an eyebrow and wonder if they really happened, and giving them the Yellowstone treatment. True stories that inspired the show. Sheridan and Costner have been tight-lipped about the exact historical events that inspired Strange Trails, but early speculation suggests ties to several infamous Western legends. The lost Confederate gold. One prevailing theory suggests the story will center around the legend of a missing shipment of Confederate gold, rumored to have been buried somewhere in Montana. Historians have long debated whether this treasure exists, but countless treasure hunters have vanished trying to find it. The disappearance of the Lawrence family. In the late 1800s, a Montana family was reportedly found missing from their cabin with dinner still on the table. No bodies were ever recovered, and theories range from bandit attacks to something far stranger. The Phantom Riders of the Bitterroot Mountains. Local legend tells of a ghostly posse that appears on foggy nights, warning travelers to stay away from certain lands. Some claim they're spirits of murdered prospectors, others insist they're simply illusions of the night. By blending these and other bizarre tales into a single narrative, Strange Trails promises to deliver a kind of historical thriller that stands apart from the rest of the Yellowstone franchise. A dream cast and top-tier filmmaking. Joining Costner in this eerie Western saga is a powerhouse supporting cast. Sam Elliott, returning to the Yellowstone universe after 1883 as a grizzled U.S. Marshal with secrets of his own. Anya Taylor-Joy as a mysterious woman claiming to be the last survivor of the Lawrence family. Pedro Pascal as a legendary outlaw whose past may hold the key to the town's mysteries. Jared Harris as a railroad tycoon with sinister motives. Filming is set to take place in Montana and New Mexico, ensuring that the rugged landscapes that define Yellowstone remain front and center. Costner himself is expected to direct at least 2 episodes, bringing his cinematic sensibilities to the small screen once more. When will Strange Trails premiere? While an official release date hasn't been confirmed, Paramount is targeting late 2025 for the debut. Fans can expect a slow burn of teasers and cryptic marketing leading up to the premiere, building anticipation for what promises to be one of the most intriguing additions to the Yellowstone world. If Yellowstone was about power, Strange Trails is about mystery. And if Costner's return to TV tells us anything, it's that the legend of the Wild West is far from over.